A Duluth man joined lawmakers today in Washington to try and spark new housing opportunities nationwide.
Northern News Now's Jeffrey McClure takes a look at the role a Northlander is playing in the movement.
The biggest push for new American housing since FDR. That's what Democratic lawmakers are calling the HOME Act, a bill announced by Senator Tina Smith Wednesday afternoon in front of the U.S. Capitol.
Our bill lays out a new way to meet people as a commodity in the speculative market. We would underwrite the construction of millions of new homes.
Through community land trust cooperatives and shared equity, lawmakers hope to create an easier path to the American dream. And a Duluth housing leader is alongside them to bring the idea to fruition.
Also, the biggest thing is this is probably the first outside of 2007 with the housing market collapse and with the American Rescue Plan Act, the single investment in housing in the past 30 years.
Noah Hobbs is the director of policy for One Roof Community Housing. The nonprofit has been helping those in need since 2012. So Senator Smith brought Hobbs on board.
In Duluth. Welcome, Noah.
One Roof Duluth has a great model for establishing community land trusts, which make it possible to have permanently affordable housing that people can own, they can build equity, and then when they move on, they can pass that home on to the next family.
Hobbs says if passed, the HOME Act will help families in Minnesota's most rural communities.
Incomes are suppressed in greater Minnesota, and so affordability is even harder to achieve in greater America than it is in urban centers, and they're even facing a significant housing shortage.
A bill Democrats see as the solution to a problem impacting Minnesotans and folks across the country. In Duluth, Jeffrey McClure, Northern News Now.
And that bill would be a $30 billion per year investment over a decade with a goal of building 1.25 million new homes. For much more on the proposal, you can head to northernnewsnow.com.